Hello and welcome back to our renovation project here in Portugal, where something has happened. And it's not great, to be honest. We'll get to that in a minute, but let me first give you some context, because we like to explain what's going on as we do things. Yesterday, while I was editing a video, Kylie was doing some work up here in the house. And it is a very similar project to something we've already shown you in a previous video. Removing tiles, removing floorboards, and putting down some more OSB. And so we thought, we don't need to film this. They have seen this before. It is exactly the same. But it's not.
So, the first signs that all things were not well was when I started to see the state of these floorboards, which was in no way similar to the floorboards that we'd already taken out, to the point that when I was chipping off tiles and the cement, they were just crumbling underneath. And there's whole sections, when I took the cement up, they just collapsed and fell down. I started here because we're going to have two boards go in this direction, and I was kind of doing enough for one board there and enough for one board here. And as I got past kind of what would be called the hallway, I guess, I found chicken wire and rebar in the cement layer, which again was not in this other room that we'd already done. And I thought, okay, cool, they've reinforced it a little bit. And then I came to the doorway where the front door is, and things got even worse. I think I'd have to take you over there to show you what happened.
So this here is the construction, and this is quite a nice example because you can see all the things that you would expect to see. So here, running across the picture, there is a wall plate, and then all of the joists for the upstairs run on top of that and kind of finish at the red brick wall. In between all of this, there was a whole load of cement that was packed up and packed in, and also kind of rendered down over the red bricks as well. And down here, there's not too many problems.
Down here, however, there are some problems. This joist does not sit at all on this wall plate. There's a tiny bit of contact, but it's not actually sitting on there. It's just butting up to it. So it's got these have a little notch cut out of them. You can probably just see it here. It's vertical and then horizontal, and then this top part was resting on this wall plate. This one has like this much of it, but as you can see, it's all really soft here, and I can just... And the same with this one. I mean, this is...
Yeah, that's not great, is it?
It's not good. So here's my best guess at what has caused this, because we've seen some evidence of this. These doors have no drip edge on them, and the external step is at the same height as the internal floor. So when the water hits these doors, it runs down and then it comes under the doors and straight onto the floor. And so there were some cracks in some tiles, and I think that some of the moisture was getting down into there. And then because the top had cement, the side had cement, the walls had cement, that moisture, once it's in there and into the timber, has nowhere else to go. It can't get out. And that's this whole breathability thing that we talk about with lime. If water comes in, lime allows the water to go back out, whereas cement acts more like a sponge and it traps the water. It does let some of it go, some of it will dry out and evaporate, but nothing like the volume that it would need to when it's encased in cement. The other problem is, this is at the top of the staircase, and the very top landing of the staircase angles towards the house, not away from the house. And there's so many cracks in that staircase, and we noticed it when we took the cement render off the downstairs room. That back part of the staircase was so wet, again because there was a cement render on the wall and the water had nowhere to go. So I think that is what has happened here. It's just years and years and years and years of the water coming in and being trapped. And it's the same with these floorboards. Needless to say, it's all going to come up. But, you know, this is what we're dealing with. It's just...
I mean, you are freakishly strong, but
that's it. Yeah.
But the wood is not supposed to do that.
No, it's not meant to do that. Just as a safety warning, we've propped it up from underneath, and we've put this board along the top so that we can walk here and it's safe, and we know that we're not going to fall through the floor.
So it's not that easy to see all of this stuff from up here, but let's go downstairs and take a look and give you a slightly different perspective. Can you set that cobweb down?
So this is a poured in place concrete lintel. This is all just infill. This is the wall plate, timber wall plate. These are the joists sitting on this wall plate. This is cement render that has been put over a bit of infill. This all had cement render on it. And we get a load of comments from people saying that we hate cement and why is cement so evil? Cement is not evil. It's just, it's not appropriate for a building like this where the moisture needs to be able to get in and out and has lots of timber. There are no moisture barriers in these kind of constructions, unlike modern buildings. So that's why cement, it traps all the moisture.
So I think we're all caught up to speed on the context. Now we need to talk about what we're going to do about it.
So we know for sure that there's 3 dodgy joists. I covered a couple more late yesterday that look to be fine. But because we don't have all the information, the plan is to take the rest of the tiles out, all of the floorboards out, and then from underneath inspect each of the joists to see the extent of the damage. Then we're going to consult with our local building consultant guy that we work with, get his opinion on what we need to do, put our heads together, we'll decide on something, and then we will do that. But we need to kind of get the extent of the damage before we can go and have a chat with him. One really good thing about this is where I'm standing now is where our staircase from downstairs to this floor and then to the top floor will be. Now we haven't got our engineer's diagrams yet, but we know it's going to be in this space. So these joists can actually come out anyway because they would have to come out for the staircase. It is just the ones in the hallway that we really need to do the remedial works to. Careful, I just had to move the door open.
Do that. Just get through this one.
Make sure you have
that's nice.
Look at that. Can you see that? That's an excellent example.
Show the camera, not me.
I don't know if that's going to work.
More?
Yep.
Again?
Yep.
Okay. The reciprocating saw has either overheated or broken. I'm not entirely sure which. So we are pausing the floorboard removal project, and we're going to have a look at removing some of the joists that need to come out from the stairwell area. That's another good one. Oh. I actually think I want to be on the other side.
No, not much space on this side.
No, this side. Because I'm too close.
Ah, okay.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to take this moment to wish Kylie a very happy birthday. She just told me that she is having the best birthday of her life.
Worst birthday ever.
Happy birthday, my dear.
Happy anniversary.
And happy anniversary to us. Lovely.
Let's go. As close to the wall as possible.
As close as possible. There's a big nail here, but I'll see how we go. So, the good news is that all the joists that we need to remove, because there's going to be a staircase there, are out. The bad news is my reciprocating saw, sorry, let me try that again. Kylie's reciprocating saw has broken. I think we burnt out the motor, which is not great because we weren't really doing anything that it's not supposed to do.
It's why we buy DeWalt.
Yeah, that's why she likes DeWalt. But our bank balance likes Einhell. So we're going to try and get the rest of these floorboards up, and then we'll be able to have a real good look at everything that's left and the condition that it's in. Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Just a little bit. Very rotten. That's enough. Yeah.
Enough?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
The complete picture.
Yeah. Can you get that? It is a new day. We have finished taking out all the joists and all the floorboards, and now we've been able to see the full extent of the situation. We've had a look at it, and we have some thoughts, but we're going to give this some time and go and get a second opinion to make sure we come up with the right solution.
This project has not filled me with joy. We thought we had done most of the rip out and repair work, and kind of assumed that these joists would be the same as all the others, which was in good condition. But this front door has lots of issues. So whatever we decide to do with the floor, we're also going to fix the front door and the whole entranceway there. Because one thing we don't want to do is put in a whole new floor system and then ruin it by not fixing the leak issue. And it's actually not a leak because it's been raining the last 2 days. So I think it's a really old leak that got trapped in there. But yeah, there was no water in the last couple of days and it's been raining quite a bit. But it needs to be fixed and we'll get it done properly and we'll fix all the things around it that should have been fixed back in the day.
Yeah, as much as this was a surprise project, and again, not one full of joy, it is much better to have found this out now before we continued putting down subfloors and started plastering and got further with either works downstairs or upstairs and then encountered this later on. I guess in an ideal world, we would have done all of the rip out throughout the whole house first and found this probably a year ago. Unfortunately, when we were doing most of the other rip out, we then had to move on site and get out of the rental flat. So timing wasn't on our side and we thought, oh, we'll just leave this and we'll do it later. But I'm glad we found this now rather than later.
The one thing this also has done is has allowed us to leave the hole where the staircase is going to go, which now gives me a reason to take out the ceilings. So as soon as Operation Heat Pump is finished, those ceilings are coming down. That's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, to see the full 3 floors up to the roof is going to be amazing.
And we also now can have a better idea of the staircase design that we want and where the landings are going to go. So it's a blessing in disguise because it now kind of pushes us towards visioning that, which we had kind of just put in a box for like that's some years away, which it still is some years away. But now we can kind of start seeing it in our heads and thinking, oh, what about this and what about that? And should we expose the wall and shouldn't we do that? The joists that we cut out of the wall, you can see the big pieces of timber because they go all the way through the 600mm wall. So I think we're going to leave those there as well and just make them pretty as part of the history of the building.
So we are done with this for now, and we're not sure when we're going to get to the finishing of this because it will depend on a few factors. But one thing is for sure, we need to crack on with getting everything ready for the heat pump installation because it is coming in, I think, like 2 weeks or something, and we've got a lot to do. So we're going to make a plan for getting all of that stuff done, and of course we'll bring it all to you as we do all the things. But we'll leave it there. We will see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye. 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 Bye.